Is up, everybody? Bleeding Blue Podcast, episode 91. We are back at it to be discussing Blue Jays, Leafs, and our beloved Buffalo Bills as their schedule comes out today, which is very exciting. Hopefully, that their schedule is good. I mean, they're such a great team that I don't care who we face as long as it's not
17-0.
17 and 0, yeah. Just like Ryan says, but yeah. Anyway, let's get into some baseball talk before we talk some Leafs because it's been an interesting series and we've there's been a lot that has gone by. Blue Jays swept the Seattle Mariners, and my gosh, does that feel great because I fucking hate Seattle, especially what they did to us back in 2022. And to sweep them in their own barn feels great. It feels incredible, and the offense is firing on all cylinders. Each player was great, and especially we look at Addison Barger, who right now has looked awesome. He's hitting around 240 right now with a homer, coming up with clutch hitting, a bunch of RBIs, and same with Ernie Clement. So we take a look at the Blue Jays right now. Their standings, they're 20 and 21 after that abysmal loss, but still they were able to make up some ground with their play over the weekend against the Mariners. So that is something very positive and very good to see. But we look at guys like well, let's take a look here. Alejandro Kirk has been great. 286 right now he's hitting. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., 284. Bo Bichette, 286. Ernie Clement, 275. Miles Straw, 290. George Springer, 289. Nathan Lucas, 270. Tyler fucking Heineman, 295. My goodness.
No,
So
395. 395.
395. Sorry, 395. I mistook that. And then you got Dalton Varsho hitting 222, but in the 8 hits that he has, five of those
Five
hits are
homers.
home runs.
Yep.
He's hitting it with a 222 average with a 935 OPS. So I'll take that all day long. And he has already accumulated zero point 0.7 WAR right now, which is great. Their offense has been very, very positive in the last little bit. Um, Especially we look at the game they had against the Los Angeles Angels. They won 8-5. Game after that, they won 6-3 against Seattle. Uh, and then the next game after that, 6-3 again. Then the game after that, 9-1. And then of course they fucking lose 11-9 to the Tampa Bay Rays. So I mean it's a small sample size right there, but it's great to see all those runs. All of those runs. I love it. Excuse me. They're hitting lots of homers. You got Ernie Clement hitting a home run, Bo Bichette hitting a home run, Varsho with two last night. Doubles, doubles, doubles. Those are the things that are going to win you baseball games. 9 runs should win you fucking baseball game. I'll say that. Um, it really should. But we had a horrible moment with Jeff Hoffman, uh, and now he has a 6.05 ERA, which is absolutely ridiculous. I don't know what happened. I thought he was. I have no idea what just happened in last night's game. It is really tough to watch, and especially being there at the game, that was horrible. Um, yeah, I thought Jordan Romano was bad, and I still think Jeff Hoffman is good, but I it hurts. It really really does hurt, and
Yeah.
I'm hurt by the way this team has been playing, or the way that ninth inning came to fruition. And yeah, it's tough. It's really really tough. So I don't know. What are your thoughts, Ryan? That was a bad game, but still lots of runs.
Yeah, it's good. It's positive that they're scoring, which was the struggle. But, now that we're scoring, we can't stop the runs, which is, what we were good at, earlier in the season. But I don't know. I think that was just a one-off game for him. I think he's been, still has been pretty solid this year. He's bound to have a rough game.
Yeah.
So it's okay though. It's okay.
Fair enough.
Bounce
I like the
back from it
positivity.
the next two games. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, tonight we face Ryan Pepois or Pepio. He's got a 3.86 ERA. Pretty much I think the same as or Chris Bassett's got a 3.35 ERA right now. So he's also been really good. I hope that the Jays win. They should. They've got two dogs going up on the mound in Gosman and Bassett, who are both really, really good. Um, Barrios didn't really have the greatest outing last night. It was all right. He went like five and a third um, with uh, um, with four earned runs. It was okay. Wasn't anything I'm too nervous about, but still he's been solid for us, so I'm not too upset. Um, that's the type of pitcher he is. We know this. Like he's gonna give up the long ball every now and then. So yeah. Still, excuse me. A very good pitcher. And yeah, I think if they can rebound and win the next two games, win the series, then that first game is ignored. You can ignore that game completely. Should have been a win. Would have been nice to be above 500, but instead of below. Uh, yeah, but nothing you can really do about that. They were on a four-game win streak, so um, hopefully let's get that back and
We
have
just need a
another
big
win
bounce
streak.
back from Hoffman here. I don't think. Do you think he's plays today?
Probably
Gets the bounce back going?
no,
No.
no. He
Okay.
threw a bunch of pitches last night. I don't think so.
Well, we'll see. Maybe we'll see him. We'll see him Thursday. Maybe he bounces back.
Yeah,
Gosman on the mound Thursday, and then the Jays have a three-game series against the Tigers, who are very solid this year. Uh, bringing back to
yeah, they're good.
bringing back to what they did last year, and then we have the Padres after that, which is not going to be a fun series. I think we probably lose that one.
Yeah,
They're playing very good baseball this year.
yeah, agreed. There's a lot of teams that are very good here.
With Tatis is on fire, um, hitting 316. He's at 11 homers. Holy moly. 11
I
homers, 26 RBIs.
I know some of these leaders right now. It's ridiculous that the Blue Jays only have the most home runs this team has right now is five on a per player. I realistically think that Vladdy needs to uh be better in terms of home runs. Uh, he
I
needs
think so as well.
he's got to start hitting more home runs. That's just what it is. He's hitting for average, which is great, and that's good. And he hits his line drives, but compared to Corbin Carroll's 14 home runs, that like guy that's the same height as I am and like probably wasted less than I do. He's hit 14 home runs. And you got Judge, who's insane, Schwarber, 14, Cal Raleigh. Like all these guys are just absolute, like just terrifying when they come up to the plate. So yeah, like I just look at that and I'm just like, fuck.
Yeah,
Jeez.
it's sad. It's sad to see, you know.
Yeah. But
Oh,
all of our guys,
that's what we
for the most
expected,
part,
man.
they've
That's what
been
we
good.
expected. If the GM is going to sign players with no pop, then it's not going to happen.
I
We got
mean,
Santander.
when you
That's
sign
about it.
Santander, you expect him to have hit a lot of home runs. He's only had five this year, hitting 190. Like he's got to be better. I still don't care. Like he has to be better. Like he has to be
Yeah,
better. I don't know
it's not a
what.
good look. Not a
It's
good
not a
look.
good look. I don't know what is going on with him. Like I have no idea what is going on. So he's got to be way better. But yeah, it's weird.
So kind of iffy this week for the Jays because they lost the series to LA, and then they come back and sweep the Mariners. So it's kind of realistically we should have won that series against the Angels because they're not the team that that they used to be with when Trout was, they had Trout and Ohtani, and I mean they didn't even make the playoffs when they had those two, but
I
at the
know.
same time they didn't play that many games together. But you know what I'm trying to say. these should be winnable games, especially for a team that's fully healthy
Yeah.
and should be playing successfully on the offensive side. But other than that, I mean, this is pretty successful in my books.
Yeah.
Um, I think they're doing okay. They just need a couple more series wins, and they're back on schedule
We're
for
back
our
on
for our
track. Yeah.
predictions. They're like we said, they're only 3.5 games back of the Yankees, so they're still there. They're still
Yep.
around the hunt. Just
Yeah.
a couple tough series coming up that they need to be successful in, and then
Yeah. I
hopefully
don't know.
they win one of those.
Last night really fucking hurt though. It like
Hmm.
blowing games is just the worst thing in the world,
Yeah,
especially after the Virtuo's 3-run home run. That really hurt. And
yeah.
uh I don't know. I just yeah, it was makes you like why do you watch the sport? Like why do you it's like it really affects like it's like the whole thing like I remember like after watching and I'm sure you were the same way like after watching last year with the after they only won 74 games and then after watching them blow like lead after lead in
Oh, the
playoffs.
blowing lead against Seattle in the playoffs was the cherry on top, I think.
Yeah,
I
and
don't think
then
I've ever experienced
I
something
think
like
no, the
that
cherry
live.
on top, that was the icing on the cake, and then the cherry on top was fucking when Schneider pulled Barrios to put Kikuchi in. And yeah,
Yeah.
that
In
was
the in
really
the
bad.
yeah, we saw that we watched that game at school. That was not fun to watch that. Well, the first four innings they were fun because Brios was playing really well, and then it just went to shit because Schneider's a fucking idiot. I still don't understand how he's has the job after all the mistakes he's made. I
I
still
know,
don't understand
I
that.
know, I know. I don't know.
But here we are. Here we
Yeah,
are.
yeah. Anyway,
Anyways, let's hope that Jays can be successful this week. At least go 500.
yeah. All right, so let's move on to Leafs talk then, because it's an exciting series right now. Last game was fucking dog shit, and they played horribly and wasted a great game by Joseph Wall. But still, the series is tied, and not what I expected uh, going into this series at all. So let's talk about that, though. How are you feeling about this series?
Not good. Not good at all. I literally said in the last podcast, all they had to do was win one. They had the chance at game three and they blew it. And then they had game four, which was probably the worst game of the playoffs so far.
Yeah.
I don't, yeah, the 4-0 loss to Ottawa. I mean, at least they had chances in that game. This game, they literally like sat back and literally did nothing.
No, they did. They
I think
did
I
something.
maybe saw two
They
breakaways
got
from
penalties.
Nyes and Nylander. Yes, and the penalties. The first period, I don't know if you watched the first period,
Yeah.
but the four penalties that they gave up, it was not the ref's fault. It was all of them. It was all of them doing stupid shit, delay of games, tripping for no reason, putting your stick out, and it was infuriating to watch. The penalty kill, they did their best. I'm pretty sure they killed off everything except for one penalty. I think it was um the Verhaeghe goal was the only power play goal
Yeah.
they scored. Yeah. So they did a good job, but at the same time, you should not be put in those situations. And the power play continues to do absolutely nothing in this series. Just horrible. Horrible power play. The Panthers are too aggressive on the puck to um they're too aggressive for the Leafs passing it around. It doesn't work. And even entering the zone, they can't even do that on the power play. So it really infuriates me that those specific aspects of their game that I hope they bring tonight because if they don't, they're gonna lose, and then the series is over. Because if they lose game five, they're not winning game six. They're not winning in Florida. Let's be real here. They're not winning back to back against this team again because you got to win five. You got to win this game tonight, or else it's over. That's just my opinion, but I think a lot of people would say the same thing. I'm sure you'd probably say the same thing too. But
I
yeah,
think so.
you got to win tonight.
They're a good team. They're riding the momentum with the wins, and then we won game three, it would have been over. I think it would have
Yes,
been the
for sure.
series would have been ours because we have that momentum, and then you have the overtime momentum as well. Like this is what happened. We rode the momentum with the series against Tampa Bay 2 years ago because we just had so many like OT wins, and then we have like those two OT wins in a row, and you know Tampa won the game five, I think it was, but still, like
Yeah.
that's kind of the example I have. And then, but with this, it's like they have to win this game. They have to win this game. So
Yeah, they got to bring the energy for sure, like, because they didn't bring in game 4. And I'm sure the guys know they didn't bring it. And they're gonna have to because Domi hit Barkov at the end of the game. He's gonna get like he's fighting first shift with Tkachuk 100%. There's something gonna go happen in the first period. Ekman Larson injured Rodriguez. He's not playing tonight. So he's not so Ekman Larson's probably gonna get run at. There's gonna be a lot of stupid shit going on. And they gotta be ready for it. They
did
gotta be ready for that to happen.
yeah,
They gotta back it up.
yeah. I know it was
It's
bad.
very, it's very, it's very tough to watch. You know what I mean? It's like those specific games. It's tough to watch, but I think if they do win game 5, I have a strong chance that they could win game 6. They could, but I still think it'll go 7 if Leafs win game 5. But if they lose, it's going 6. Ford is winning at 6. There's no doubt about that. So they got to be really strong tonight on the puck because Florida is on the opposite end. So they got to be strong. Because if they aren't, they're gonna lose. Because Bobrovsky's playing very good. He played very good last game. I mean, Leafs didn't even have that many shots on net. Like they had like what
No,
20,
the shot
23 shots on
differential
net, and all of them were
differential.
like puny. Like Matthews cannot hit the net for shit. I posted on my Instagram the missing post. I thought that was funny. But it's also not funny at the same time because he's getting paid $14 million a year, and
Yeah,
he's not scored one goal in the second round of the playoffs in 9 games. So I think Florida is just a curse to him, but he's got to perform. He's got to do something tonight to rev up this team because he's the captain now. You know?
yeah,
He's the captain of the team. He's got to be pushing the guys to do better. And I'm tired of the post game press conferences of him saying, "Oh, we knew this was going to be tough." You know, I'm tired of that shit because they say that every single year. And like, if they lose this series, he's probably going to say, "Oh, we got to be better," or we just didn't have it. You gotta like accept that, accept that you played like shit
yeah.
and move on. You got to accept that. You can't just say, "Oh, we just didn't play hard enough," you know?
Hmm.
Because you say that every year and it doesn't change anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So, tonight is probably the biggest game of their careers, I think. Or like any of the Leafs players that, haven't won a cup yet. Definitely their biggest game.
yeah,
Because if they lose this game, they're not winning the next one, sadly. So,
yeah.
yeah, it's a big game coming up. Big game.
Fair enough. Um, let's see. What was I gonna say? In Stolars, what's the look on him? What's
I don't think he's playing tonight. Um, he did practice yesterday before the team came on, but I don't think he's playing tonight.
no?
I think Wool's staying. I mean, I'm not surprised at that. I think Wool played very good. I felt like he was the only player that actually tried or actually did something meaningful in the last game. It could have been easily a blowout if it wasn't for him. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? So, um, I still think the Leafs have the best tandem in the league, the best two goalies in the league. and it's just the people in front of them that have to perform in order to keep this series afloat. So Wool's got to have another strong game tonight. Obviously, I think he will. It's just whether if the offense is going to produce or not. I think they will. The Leafs won't get shut out at home. It's a rarity that ever happens. But they just got to play hard. That's the main thing. And if this was Keefe, this would be a different story, I think. But I think Berube may, you know, give them a different motivation tonight.
Yep,
Different from what Sheldon Keefe does um, as a coach. So hopefully that sticks with them. Something different tonight. Maybe keep playing keep playing good for 3 periods. Don't let off the gas. You know what I mean? I think
yeah,
like the Leafs don't do that very often. Is play a full 60 minutes. They don't like to do that. So hopefully they can do that tonight. Something similar to what they did game 6 against Ottawa. I think that was their last game where they played a full 60 minutes. I think they got to do that again, and maybe they will have a chance. They'll have a chance to win tonight.
fair enough.
So
Fair enough. Yeah,
those are my thoughts.
good thoughts. Yeah, I can only hope and pray that they win this game and continues their path continues to the Stanley Cup. But
Let's talk a little bit about the other series. Edmonton, they're surprising me. I got to say that Skinner has
I'm not
has had a
surprised.
fantastic. Skinner has, well, obviously, because you picked them. Skinner had a fantastic game. What was it 2 nights ago? Fantastic game.
Yeah,
He's
where they
usually
won
good
three
in
zero.
game four. He's good in games four. In game four, he's like 5-0 in a game four. So like, we'll see what he does tonight, in Vegas. Um, but I thought he was very good, and they're probably going to win the series. They're up 3-1. That's probably. I don't think they're going to win tonight. I think Vegas will win, but they'll probably win when they come back home. Um, and then you got Dallas, who is just running the floor with Winnipeg, which I knew
Yeah,
would happen. Winnipeg is just they don't have any stars, I don't feel, to take over the game. Dallas is fully healthy now. Haskinen's back, Robertson's back, and they look insanely good.
and then you got Rantanen.
Ottinger's playing amazing. Rantanen, I I I would trade him for Marner right now immediately. Rantanen looks
Yeah, that's not
fantastic.
happening. But yeah,
I know, but I wish. I wish. Easily a better playoff performer than
and wasn't
Marner.
he fucking close to coming to Toronto too?
He was very close in signing
Oh,
long term. But yeah, Ranton looks amazing. Everyone's healthy. They're very dangerous. They're probably right there with Florida, the best team right now. And then Carolina, Washington. I literally have not watched a single minute of that series, and Carolina is up 3-1. They'll probably win tonight or tomorrow, sorry, in Washington. So that series is probably over. Like the other three are like basically over. You know what I mean?
yeah, I know.
I can't see any of the teams coming back in those series. The only one, really competitive one is Leafs Panthers. That's
And
the
that's
only real
exactly what
competitive
everyone
one.
thought it was going to be too.
Yeah.
Um,
I thought Vegas Edmonton would be a little more competitive. I thought that would go 7. I mean, it could
they're
still,
just so
but
much better though. They Edmonton
it's
is
the
just
the reason why. The reason why is McDavid and Draisaitl. That's the
yeah,
only
but
reason why. It's the only
that's
reason why.
that's a reason enough. It's like you have stars, you have players that show up in the playoffs like those guys are fucking stars. Like they're not like the guys that don't show up. These guys every single year when they come into the playoffs, they're the players that are playing the hardest. They're the playing like last series you think about the Edmonton versus the Kings when they were down like 2-0, weren't they at one
Yeah.
point? And
They didn't
then
play well. They didn't play well
they
those
didn't
first
play
two
well, but
games.
the only people you saw on the ice that were actually fucking trying were McDavid and Draisaitl. And
Yeah.
then what do you know? The team fucking begin just a little bit better, but you still have McDavid and Draisaitl carrying, and that's what's gonna happen though. You need those guys. You need those guys to like carry a team. Like you see it all the time in playoffs where like people just go on these fucking insanity runs. Like you think of like what's a good example? You think of like George Springer in 2017 playoffs where he hits like 5 home runs in the span of like 4 games in the World
Right.
Series. That's the reason they won is because you have guys like that
Yeah,
just
but
go on these
McDavid and
crazy.
Draisaitl are different. They're consistently, good.
Oh,
They're
there
all
you go.
year-round
Yeah.
players. Something the Leafs don't have. Other than I'd say Nylander and Nyes in the future are like the only two forwards that are year-round players.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, um, good for Edmonton. If the Leafs lose this series, I hope they win. Because I would like to see McDavid succeed. It's hard watching him lose, um, every year with that horrible franchise.
Hmm.
Um, and if they don't, like he's got to get out of there. I think Draisaitl will probably go first before him, but I think he's got to get out of there, go somewhere new.
McDavid?
Yes.
No,
If
he
they
won't
can't, if
leave.
they don't win, they like what else can they do?
They'll win
What else
this.
can
I
they
wouldn't
do?
be surprised if they win this year.
Well, they do look very good. That's what I'm saying. I hope they do because if they don't this year, then I find it hard to see them winning any other year. So
Charles Barkley put money on he said that the Stanley Cup finals are going to be Leafs versus Oilers.
I hope he's right. That
I
would
hope he's
be
right.
that
That'd
would
be
be the
awesome.
greatest final in NHL history.
Yeah. No,
But
you know
that's
what?
Gary Bettman's nightmare. He does
It
not
is.
want that. He wants Carolina Dallas. That's what that's
Ah,
what that's what Gary Bettman wants.
boring. My goodness. That would be
I
the
could not I
worst.
could not watch that
That'd be
series.
the worst series ever. My
That's what
gosh.
Gary Bettman wants. That's what he wants, dude. He wants Carolina, Dallas. That's what he wants.
I could not stand that.
Or imagine another Vegas, Florida Stanley Cup final. I would,
It's not as bad, but it's
oh
still, yeah.
God.
Like
It's just like the two most unlike teams in the league.
it's like the two most, but like they're fans. Like they don't even have fucking fans. Like that's the other thing. Like
No, no,
they
they don't.
have good businessmen in their fucking and women in their
Yeah,
fucking
that's why Bettman likes them.
yeah.
That's why he wants them in the final. Because like, oh wow, my favorite franchise, the last two teams to win the cup. Oh, they're gonna play again. Perfect.
Yeah.
That's oh God. That's my worst nightmare. Vegas, Florida, Stanley Cup final. Well, let's hope we can let's manifest Oilers Leafs. Let's manifest that.
That'd be great. That'd be awesome.
Oh, I'm dreaming about that.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to our top five then,
Yeah.
as we were just talking about some horrible franchises. Uh, let's talk about some actual terrible franchises right here in sports. Today we will be doing our top five or our rankings, I guess, our draft of worst sports franchises of all time. Yeah. We will be doing it between the three sports that we focus on. So football, hockey, and baseball.
Yeah. Since there was check the voting, we tied this week. So I don't know what the tiebreaker is for that.
Whoever won last goes again first.
Okay, so it's me. I will go first. Okay. My first pick is a football team, and they have been atrocious for years and years and years. Haven't even made a Super Bowl. The Cleveland Browns is my first pick, and I think it's pretty obvious.
All right. Good pick. Okay. Mine is another football team. Especially in recent years, just thinking about them makes me laugh. The New York Jets at number one.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
that's a good one.
just abysmal team, just cannot get it together. Signed Aaron Rodgers and Just
Signed Devontae Adams halfway through the year, fired their coach the same year. Oh, they have a lot of problems. They have
they
a
have
lot of
so many
problems.
problems, and they're a New York-based team. Actually, they're not even in New York. They're in fucking New Jersey. So
The Bills are the only technically New York team.
yeah,
So just saying.
and the Jets, we all know they have issues. Especially signing 80-year-old Aaron Rodgers, and you could have been good, but wasn't, and only played one game. And then this year he played one, not even he played like 30 seconds of a game the first season, and then last year he was fucking dog shit, just absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
So it looks like he's not going to be on the team again. Uh, did they release him already or no?
Who?
Aaron Rodgers, they didn't release him yet, did they?
No, they have. They're just figuring out if he wants to retire or not.
Oh, I see.
He's like a free agent.
Yeah. So
It's his like decision on,
So he stinks, but yeah. Anyway,
yeah.
that's my number one pick right now.
Okay. All right. I'm going back. I'm doing another football team. Uh, Despite recent success, they still have not made a Super Bowl. Um, and they're in possibly one of the worst cities, the Detroit Lions. I'm going in my second pick.
Wow.
Good last 2, 3 years. Despite winning a couple division titles, um, they've not made a Super Bowl. So what else can I say? And before that, they hadn't won a division title in 30 years since Barry Sanders. So yeah, there's not much to say. It's easily them for sure. That's my second pick.
All right,
There's
my
a
number
lot of
two.
bad football teams.
Yeah, I know.
A
You go
lot of bad football
Commanders,
teams.
you go like
No, no, not Commanders.
they're good
They're
now.
they they've won three Super Bowls.
Oh, really? Okay. Then
Yeah, they've
I'm
won.
fucking
They've won. They, no, not. I don't know if they won three or two. I can't remember. No, they've won a couple. They're
all
not.
right.
They're not a bad franchise.
All right,
They're
well
okay.
that's not my pick though. However,
Okay.
I will be going number two is the Los Angeles Angels. Um
Okay.
they in 2002, I want to say they did win a World Series. So that is something that they have for them. But when you have the two greatest MLB players
Yeah.
of this in the last 50, 40 years, I'd say,
Yep.
you should really be making the fucking playoffs and you should be a better team than what you are. You are a
Yeah.
joke to the sport of baseball by not even coming close and then also just be like a fire sale. It was 2 years ago where they traded at the trade deadline for players they traded for like fucking Mike Moustakis, of course, Randall Grichuk, a bunch of guys, Hunter Renfroe they had, and then they released all of these guys at the end of like maybe like 2 months before the season because they sucked and they couldn't afford them, and like they knew they were gonna lose, and it's just terrible, especially with Mike Trout on your team. You signed Albert Pujols, who was just fucking terrible for you guys too. Some of it's bad luck, and some of it's just bad management and underperforming. The Anthony Rendon contract, oh my gosh, that is one of the most horrible contracts in all of baseball, up there
Yeah.
with Chris Davis with the
That was
Orioles.
really bad. Really bad contract.
Yeah,
Are they? They're
so
still paying him.
they
No.
are still paying. Oh yeah, yeah. But anyway, that's my number two pick.
Good Lord. I just found this out. This is not my pick, but apparently the Philadelphia Phillies have been around since 1883, and they've only made the playoffs 13 times.
Whew.
That can't be right.
They had a good run back in the early. They're good now, and then they had a good run back in
Wait,
like the
this
early.
this comment was 3 years ago, so probably what's that now? 16, I guess. That's still crazy. That's still a crazy stat. I'm not picking them though. Number three, I'm gonna go with a hockey team this one time around, and I'm gonna go with the Buffalo Sabres.
Fuck yeah.
You want to talk about a franchise who have not been successful recently and in the past? That's the Buffalo Sabres. Sorry to all the Buffalo fans in the chat. You know, we're Bills fans, but we cheer for the Leafs on this podcast. But the Sabres, on the other hand, oh oh boy, they're literally like the New York Jets of the NHL. Haven't won anything. Haven't been to a Stanley Cup final since '99 with Hasek. That yeah, those are their glory years, and they're not coming, and they're not coming for a long time.
Yeah,
Sadly,
that's too
they
bad.
a couple years ago they had a lot of young talent. You know, still have Tage Thompson. Um, they had a good young team with a great offense, and they just couldn't put it like a complete team together that could make the playoffs. But they're still they still can. They still have some good players. So I like the Sabres too. It's just they there's something wrong with them. I don't know what it is. If it's upper management. Uh, I saw a post today that Lou Lamoriello, former Leafs GM, was spotted at the Buffalo airport. So he could be joining the upper office, you know, front office. So we'll see. See about that team, but they deserve to be on this list, no doubt.
Yeah. Okay. Um, all right. My number three pick. Did I or number two? Oh no, number three, yeah. I will be going with the Colorado Rockies, another baseball team.
Okay.
Number three. My gosh, they're off to a fucking terrible start, even worse than the White Sox last year. And I thought the White Sox were bad. The Colorado Rockies have just been terrible, terrible,
7
terrible.
wins.
And um,
Oh boy.
yeah, 7 wins, 7-35, and all of their losses are like by 20 runs. Like they
I
just
saw
they
they lost like 20-0 the other day to who was it, San Diego? They
yeah.
got bodied by them. Holy.
And there's nothing they can do because they should be a better offensive team because they're a high altitude team and they in home runs get hit out farther. However, their pitching is just absolutely terrible, and then their hitting sucks too. Like they can't even do anything, and it's horrible. It's just so bad. Because they suck. They just absolutely suck. Um, it's hard. I can imagine it's got to be hard to watch as a Rocky fan, but there aren't that many Rocky fans out there to watch this team. It's crazy. So yesterday there was one of the worst games of all time being played. It was the Rockies versus the um, who was it? Rockies versus White Sox. Oh no, sorry. It's coming up on the 4th of July. That's the game, which was
Holy
I
moly.
saw somebody. It was Rockies versus
Oh
White
God.
Sox. So that's the 4th of
Imagine,
July
dude,
game.
tickets got to be like 50 cents for that game.
I
I'm
know.
sorry. If you're paying more than $10 to go see that game, you have a problem. I'm
But
sorry.
just in the history of the Rockies, they've had some good players. They've had Todd Helton, Nolan Arenado, Larry Walker have been great. Matt Holliday, I'm looking at right here. Troy Tulowitzki was great on their team. Trevor Story,
Dante Bichette,
Dante. Yeah, there you go. Dante.
Todd Helton,
Yep. But
Larry Walker.
they've been a team since 1993. They went to the World Series once and got absolutely obliterated by the Boston Red Sox, losing 4-0 in that series.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that was pretty bad for them. And then farthest they've made it since then is yeah, the NLDS, which they lost 3-0. Most games they won in a year is 92. I'm looking at right here. 92
Oh
games.
God. That's atrocious. Not even a 100 game, not even a 100 win season.
Well, the Blue Jays haven't even won 100 games in a season.
Yeah, but they've won 2 championships.
They have. Yes, they have.
And they are not on this list. They will not be on this list. Neither will the Leafs. All you fucking Leafs haters. Leafs are not on this list. They have 13 championships, so shut up. Uh,
Yeah.
okay. I'm gonna go with. Oh no, I can't pick them. That's a basketball team. Okay. Fourth pick. Um, Hmm. There's also a lot of bad basketball teams. Okay, I'll go with the baseball team here. I would choose the Padres. We were just praising them. I'm gonna go with them. A team that has been in the league for a long time. Um, I don't think have they even made finals appearance, World Series appearance? They have, right?
The who?
The Padres. Yes, they
Um,
have. Yes, yes, I remember when they played the Yankees one year. That's
yeah,
right.
they did.
Yeah.
They've
Okay.
been, yeah.
They still haven't won one. Before they had Soto, Tatis, Machado all on the same team, didn't win. That's not good at all. Um, they were struggling before that for a long time until Tony Gwynn and that era of team when they played the Yankees in the World Series. Other than that, they've been complete dog shit. So I'm putting them at number four. Add a baseball team in there.
Fair enough. Yeah. But this year they're fucking great. They are so good this year. Anyway. All right. My next pick will be, let's see here. Oh, you got all the teams that I wanted. You know what? I'll go another baseball because I know it well at number four, and they are a
Okay.
terrible team. The Chicago White Sox. Chicago White
Yeah,
Sox.
it's very similar to like the Angels, I feel. The White Sox. I feel like they're very similar to
They had
them.
some times when they were good. They are not good though. They have more wins than the Colorado Rockies though, so good on them for that, I
Yeah, there you
guess.
go.
But yeah, they're just not a good team. They're just not a good team. They have good pitching. Shane Smith has been good for them. He's one guy. Jonathan Cannon has been good. Martin Perez. Um, but it's pretty rough. It's pretty bad. What this team has been like. So, um, again, they won a championship back in 2005, and that was the most recent one. But again, that's their actually no, okay. You know they've won three championships, but those were all back in 1906 and 1917. Then they went on a huge playoff drought for around 40 years. So, and then again, another playoff drought for 23 years. And then another one after that for about 12 years. Yeah, so they've had their struggles. Again, they're any Chicago team, I don't know what it is, they just suck. Like it is tough to be a sports, especially the Cubs. Like when I mean, they've had some success in the last few years. Um, Obviously with that big World Series in 2016, which was incredible. But my gosh, like they were bad. Like they were bad. Chicago Cubs were bad. The White Sox have been bad. Um, yeah, and I don't know how they have two teams in Chicago that are both so terrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my pick for number four.
Okay. Number five. You just mentioned them, another baseball team. They won a decade ago, but the 108-year span of not winning a championship for the Chicago Cubs, I think is deserved to be on this list.
Yeah,
Um, I just like the Chicago Cubs because of Rookie of the Year. I've always been a fan of the Cubs.
yeah,
But you got to include them on these lists, man. 108 years, over a century without a championship
yeah.
is horrible. Like really bad. Um, I can't really say much because the Leafs are heading that direction. Uh, well, hopefully that changes this year. Probably not. But
Don't even say it.
yeah, I know I had to bring it up. But yeah, 108 years without a championship is horrible. Like there's nothing really else you can say. So but that 2016 run was pretty insane. I gotta give it to them for that. So I'll put them at number five. It could have been way higher if they obviously hadn't won one that year, but there you go. That's my fifth that's my fifth pick.
All right. Sounds good. All right. My number five pick will be the Arizona Cardinals, formerly the St. Louis
Yeah.
Cardinals, now the Arizona,
Wait, sorry, what?
Arizona Cardinals.
You said formerly St. Louis.
Yeah, they were the St. Louis Cardinals.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you?
Look, go back. In 1987, they changed to Phoenix Cardinals.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. Oh, I did not know that. Yeah, and then they were the
From
Chicago
1960. Oh
Cardinals.
shit, I did not know that. Interesting.
Yeah.
Did not
Um,
know that.
yeah. The
Okay.
uh the Arizona Cardinals, again, just look
Yeah,
at
they're they're
they
they're
lost
shit.
Super Bowl in 2008. Good for them. They I mean, not really because they lost it. Going 9-7 that year. So, take that as you want. Anyways, again, they're not a good team. They don't make the playoffs often. There's some droughts in there, some championships in there too, and back in fucking before my grandparents were born.
Right.
But that back then they were the Chicago Cardinals. So, again, take that as you will. That means nothing to me. However, especially like last year where they looked like they had some momentum, but obviously didn't.
No, they didn't. No,
Yeah,
they never had momentum.
they had a
They never
little bit
had
at the
momentum
beginning.
last year. They played well against Buffalo in week one, and then they
They still lost that game.
didn't go anywhere. Yeah, exactly. They played good. And then Josh Allen's like, all right, I gotta take over.
Yeah. I mean, Kyler Murray, he's not bad, so he's exciting for
I
them.
guess. I
Um,
guess. He's
but
also like 5'2".
they
So
still suck too. Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
He's 5'2"? No way.
No, he's not that short. But
5'10".
compared to other quarterbacks, he's very short. But yeah, like that year they went to the Super Bowl, they had
Nine
Kurt
wins.
Warner, Kurt Warner, Larry Fitzgerald. They had a solid team. It's too bad Fitzgerald didn't leave and get himself a championship.
Yeah.
One of the best receivers of all time. It's kind of sad, but oh well. Shitty franchise. I feel like all the Arizona teams, in all the leagues suck. Phoenix Suns, formerly the Arizona Coyotes, now Utah Mammoth. The Utah
Yeah.
Mammoth who just got named a couple days ago. Um, yeah. No real success going on over in Arizona.
I guess the Diamondbacks are better.
Diamondbacks, sure. They made a World Series a couple years ago. Uh, okay, honorable mention. I will choose another hockey team here. Uh, I don't know. You know what? Screw it. I'm going Toronto Maple Leafs. I'm doing it.
Honorable
I'm
mention.
doing it. I'm doing it. Yep.
All
I'm
right.
doing it. I'm doing it.
All
This
right.
team
Yeah.
sucks. If they lose this series against Florida, they're going up in five. They're going up to number five. Chicago's going back to my honorable mention. Yeah, 57 years of complete bullshit. Not one Stanley Cup final appearance in 57 years. And to be honest, they deserve to be mentioned. Plain and simple. Putting them in honorable mention.
All right. Good pick. Okay, my honorable mention, another hockey team. I'll go Columbus Blue Jackets as an honorable mention. They're the
Yeah.
most boring mid fucking team of all time.
They've only won one playoff series, and that
Yeah.
was the one where they swept the Tampa Bay Lightning, who had the best record in the league at the time, which was shocking. I still remember that, man. I remember the Lightning put out on Twitter like an apology note to their fans. It was hilarious.
Oh,
So
that's
funny.
that's horrible.
And then
Yeah.
after that they went to three straight cup finals. So
Yeah.
in
They
that
had some good
apology.
players on their team. They had Rick Nash and Sergey.
They had Panarin that one year. They won they had Panarin. They had what else they have on that team? They had Bjorkstrand, who was pretty good. They had Duchesne on that team. They had Seth Jones, Werenski. Bobrovsky was in net at that time. I'm pretty sure on that team. I'm
Nick
almost
Foligno.
positive. They had a good team. They had a good team. I honestly thought they could have beat Boston that year, but they didn't end up beating them. But that's a good pick. I just feel like they haven't been in the league that long. But they've only won one series, so it makes sense.
Yeah, and like
Makes sense to put them on
I
the
mean, some
list.
teams have also not been in the league that long, and they've had fucking incredible success. Look at the Vegas Golden Knights.
Yeah, but they also cheat, so
Kind of.
they also manipulate the injured reserve list and cap salary cap.
I mean,
So
so does every team. So does fucking Dallas. So does fucking
yeah,
Florida.
I know, and I don't like them because of it.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't
if
like
they
Tampa.
did it,
I don't like
I'd be
Vegas,
happy.
Florida, all those fucking Southern teams that Bettman loves.
Yeah.
If that's the Leafs doing that, dude, they close that rule up immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately they close that rule up. Any Canadian team, honestly. But no, Bettman doesn't like Canadian teams. Edmonton were very close last year, but they didn't get it done.
Yeah.
Fuckers. Oh well.
All right. Anything else you have to add, my friend?
No. Let's just hope the Bills get a lot of primetime games. Love watching the Bills primetime, showing the world that they're the best team in the NFL. They will be this year. Um, gonna try and go see a game in the five. It's the farewell season of Ralph Wilson Stadium. I'm gonna try and watch a game. You have to go. We're gonna go to a game this year.
All right. If you pay for it, then yes.
Nah, we'll see. You still gotta pay for my Jays game.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
maybe. Okay. Yeah. You know what? I will.
Maybe we'll run the series back again of the guess the game.
You know what? I have a game coming up in August where I got front row seats, so we can go to that game.
Oh, fancy.
So yeah, I got them for like $40 each somehow. Like some girl
Oh,
was
that's
like
pretty
selling,
good.
some chick was selling them on Snapchat, and I just got I was like $40 front row. I was like, "Is this legit?"
Hmm,
She's like, "Yeah." So I was like, "All right, bet."
nice.
So anyway,
But yeah, Bills game, we will be definitely going. I'm definitely going to go to a Bills game next year before the new stadium is built. Would like to experience. You got to experience the tailgate at least once in your life in Buffalo, unlike anything else.
great
So
deal.
excited. Always excited for schedule release week. Hopefully a lot of primetime games. For the boys in blue and red. And yeah, hopefully Leafs, please, my God, please win today. Say a little prayer for Matthews. Hopefully he scores. Um, yeah, go
All right.
Leafs. That's all I gotta say.
What time's the game at? 7?
7 o'clock.
All right. Let's go Leafs.
Yeah,
All right. Cheers. Thank you guys so much for listening.
yep.
Make sure to like, subscribe on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, um, Spotify. We are on all those platforms. Cheers, and see you next week.